I went to Marine boot camp last year and got discharged for mental health on phase two. Nothing insane, just anxiety and depression. I've been doing therapy and will be getting a letter of recommendation from my therapist and my main doctor giving me clearance to re-enlist, which I want to do in January or February. How are my chances of the Marine Corps approving my waiver for mental health and re-enlisting? I had an RE3 code, by the way. What are the chances of the Marine Corps approving this waiver? It's really 50-50. Will the Marine Corps, or I should say, can the Marine Corps approve mental health waivers? Of course, they do it all the time. It is very common, but what you have to realize is that you were discharged for mental health, which means you went to boot camp and something didn't sit right and they discharged you or they deemed that you were no longer fit to be in boot camp. So then you went home. Now you're saying, hey, I'm good. I want to come back and do this again. So what you have to do is, or better yet, what your doctors have to do is paint a good picture and an explanation as to why you should come back. What has changed since you were discharged until now? What kind of therapy have you done? What kind of counseling have you done? What kind of things have you done since you've been out to show and make sure that what happened in the past isn't going to happen again? Because that's the big risk that the military takes. The BUMED doctors, who are the doctors and the approving authority who look at all waivers and decide whether it's a yes or a no, all they have to go off of is the documents and paperwork and evaluations that your doctor gives to you and you give to this doctor. They never talk to each other. They don't know you, they don't know your doctor. So if you give them some weak paperwork and some stuff that doesn't really paint the picture that well, it's not going to get approved. But if you have some thorough detailed notes, if you have some good evaluations and you can show and prove how this won't happen again, you have a great chance of this waiver getting approved. But ultimately, it's on you and your doctor to show these BUMED doctors how much you've changed, what has changed since this has happened, and why this isn't going to happen again, because they're gambling on you. They don't want you to re-enlist, go back to boot camp, and then get discharged for the same thing again, and that's a risk they're taking, so keep that in mind. But get some good documents, give it to your recruiter, have them send it up, and there's a good chance it can get approved, but there is also a chance it could get denied. Just keep that in mind.